If a disembodied voice started narrating your life, would you listen or would you panic? Is Will Ferrell one of the most underrated dramatic actors of the SNL alums? That's the real question. I'm Seth, and today is day 14 of 365, reviewing every movie I've seen in theaters with the ticket stubs to prove it. Today's movie is Stranger Than Fiction. But first, what's your favorite Will Ferrell movie? Directed by Marc Forster, who we already talked about on the Finding Neverland episode, you can go back and check that one out. Starring Will Ferrell in one of his most unexpected roles for the time, as well as Maggie Gyllenhaal, Emma Thompson, Dustin Hoffman, and Queen Latifah. This movie shouldn't work. It's an adaptation watershed movie, Charlie Kaufman watershed movie, if you will. It's trying to blend dark comedy and romance and literal satire, and really, honestly, it's such a hodgepodge that it shouldn't work. Somehow it still manages to pull off a deeply emotional story thanks to Will Ferrell's standout, crazy, wild, how did he pull this out after Elf kind of performance. Diving into Stranger Than Fiction, I was stoked to see this movie growing up. A, because I was a big SNL fan. That's why I did the Lazy Sunday thing in the Chronicles of Narnia video from a few days back. The SNL digital short had a chokehold on me at this time. Will Ferrell putting out a movie, I'm definitely going to try to go see it. I got to go see this one with a group of my friends right after my mom's 51st birthday party, and that's specific because I remember she had a meltdown for her 50th, and if she did not get a 51st birthday party, was going to probably decapitate all of us, I think would have been the outcome. She was mad that I wanted to leave her birthday party to go see a movie. I went to see, and you can see on the ticket stub here, I went to see the late showing, the 10:10. I made sure that it was after her birthday party. God damn it. I think if I had reviewed this movie in 2006, I wouldn't have fully got it. Like, I truly was not tracking that Emma Thompson is playing essentially God outside of already being the narrator. This is functionally like God's position in the story. We even see in her opening, she's standing over the city, unable to actually be killed because she can imagine all these deaths, but they're not real. But they're real to her until they're not. I think movies like this are attempting to talk about something that's so esoteric and large that I could tell it was an important story about stories, but I definitely wasn't being deeply affected by the kinds of things that I wanted to talk about. Watching it recently, honestly, this movie is almost perfect. I think it is an almost perfect movie from this era, from this time frame. It's almost a Nick Cage vehicle. Like, you can very distinctly imagine Nick Cage in this role, but I think he would have overstretched this in a way that Will Ferrell brings like a really human element to what is functionally normal guy. Like, that is, Harold Crick is just normal guy. The only fault that I can give this movie, and it's really unfortunate, the movie's crux is that this is a female writer, and our love interest for our protagonist is very obviously a woman written by a woman written by a man. Tell me why after Will Ferrell says, "I want you," she loses all agency in the plot, just entirely evaporates. In 2025, these lessons in filmmaking, I think, are becoming more and more obvious, and so I can't fault, I think, a movie for not knowing that this is the way we will think about movies eventually, but it is really frustrating to see a character with so much fire and agency in the first half of the movie totally evaporate to allow space for what is a normal man learning that he should want things in life. Like, these aren't particularly hard lessons to learn, and she could have added to this finale instead of giving that finale to the Watch. I'm sorry, the Watch is not a character. It's mentioned 3 times. I hate to be a stickler for sure, because I do really, really like this movie, and I wanted to remember it nostalgically as being like an important comedy outing for me. I don't get to see many comedies in theaters, and I also don't get to see many comedies that are actually funny in theaters. This movie is funny. It has many, many funny moments. I think Dustin Hoffman is totally underappreciated for his comedic timing across this movie, as well as setting up what is essentially how to watch the movie for the viewer. There's a lot of thankless jobs in this movie. Queen Latifah's position also is like God's right-hand man, maybe the devil. It's a very biblical read, depending on how deeply you want to get into it. Even her role within this doesn't amount to much other than being a punching bag for the narrator. With all these thankless roles, it's still amazing to me that this movie feels as deep and as fleshed out and as impactful as it can emotionally. That was kind of, I think, maybe the driving force of these early 2000s feel-good comedies. There's like a very specific song type that goes along with these trailers. It's like the indie movie song. All you have to do is Google that and you will get the exact vibe that this movie's going for. Another one that's going to be coming up later on is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I think that is this movie done to the nth degree better. Overall, can't complain. Had a really good time. I still think Stranger Than Fiction is one of the most unique plots, uniquely executed plots. The dreamlike backgrounds still really work for me. There's a lot here to love. There's a ton here to love. It's just really unfortunate to see an amazing actor like Maggie Gyllenhaal essentially be given nothing but banger monologue after banger monologue, only to be relegated to the background for the rest of the story, so that our white male protagonist can learn that wanting things will actually give him meaning in life. Less sigh. Speaking of Secret Life of Walter Mitty, tomorrow's movie is another Ben Stiller joint, Night at the Museum. I'm excited for that one. Oh my god, I miss Robin Williams. I'm so excited to pour Robin Williams into my eyeballs for a minute. Make sure you give me a follow on Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Check out my Patreon. You can get a free ticket stub if you sign up this month. And from there, I'll just say, see you tomorrow.